coming off of practice. I mean, just tell us how you're feeling, where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously been a long road, so it's nice to be back with the guys a little bit, and definitely a little more energy, a little pep in my step coming back and being out with those guys. And yeah, I mean, it's still a lot of work to do, I think, but I feel really good. You know, it's the best I've felt, obviously, in 7-8 months. So yeah, finally have a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel for sure, and have a lot of direction in what we're trying to accomplish. And yeah, we've gotten some huge progress and big jumps the last, probably 2, 3, 4 weeks, and yeah, so we're moving in the right direction for sure.
Are you letting yourself imagine that first start yet?
No, not yet. I mean, I'm a day-to-day guy. I think you have to be. Admittedly, through the process, I slipped into the future-seeking mindset, and it never really ended up too well for me. So just sticking with it day by day, and I definitely know that I'll be playing here. I can't give you a timeline yet, but I'll definitely be back, and yeah, just enjoying being where I'm at today, and keep making progress tomorrow.
And to get to this point, was it just you had to sort of learn to manage how it feels? Is it just?
No, we had to use different modalities to get the function up. It wasn't an adaptation of my style of play, and I knew it wouldn't be. Shortly after Penticton, we really nailed down what the issue was specifically, which was nice to finally kind of understand what was going on, and that gave us a clear picture of different options that we had moving forward. And it was kind of just trial and error at that point, and we ended up finding something that worked really well for me.
So much emotion involved in your profession, and yesterday was an emotional day for this organization. Has it been a challenge for you to separate sort of the practical side of what you need to do to get yourself ready versus what the team's needs might be and how badly they want you to be back?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you want to be out there for your teammates. I mean, I'm not really doing this for me. I think that's what the basis of playing sports is trying to be there for other people and help your team succeed and do whatever it takes to do that. So it's hard to compartmentalize that and stay focused on my task and not get too judgmental internally, and you try not to guilt yourself into tricking yourself that you're maybe farther along just so you can get back sooner, things like that. But my teammates have been great, the coaching staff's been great with just not really putting pressure on me. I think they know that I probably do that enough on my own. And so they've been all very supportive, and that's been huge through this process.
How much of our focus, and I think probably the general focus, is when is Thatcher coming back? Like what date, what game are you going to play? But your focus, I imagine, has to be not just when you're going to be back, but how are you going to be able to play when you get back, and how do you sustain it? How can you play the rest of the season? Is that clear?
Yeah, I think admittedly I feel great right now, and to your point, I can't feel good and go back into game action and then have a setback 2 weeks into playing. And I gotta put this thing through hell and know that I can kind of sustain that and withstand just the pressures of being in the NHL every day and playing games, waking up, practicing, traveling, doing all this stuff. I need to make sure that I'm ready for the long haul and do everything that I can to make sure that I am. So I think this last, like I said, I still have a little bit of work to do, but I think the last stretch of it is going to be just that capacity build and making sure that I can withhold the schedule of the NHL.
Is part of that too knowing what the injury, like understanding what that feeling is, as opposed to the unknown of what it might have been at the beginning, where you're like, oh my God, I've torn my meniscus or something like that. Like you actually know what it is, you know what the feeling is. Was that part of the process?
No, I mean, I knew it wasn't a meniscus right away. Admittedly, I've, gotten pretty educated anatomically. I think it's important too, and obviously through this process, I've been forced to. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get into the details of, the feelings of things or, different maintenance techniques or what have you mechanically that I can do, but just know that I know everything about the popliteus and all that stuff that goes into it at this point.
You've done this before where you've had to battle back from injuries and try and ramp things up. How different ultimately is going all out at practice and then playing games?
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole different beast. You know, that's the stages of rehab. You know, you kind of work your way back into some goalie skates, and you know, I'm seeing pucks from the Twins, and you know, Sergei was out there a little bit with me, and then I come out here and things are moving really quick compared to those guys. So it's another step up, and I have to get acclimated at this level, and then obviously the game is a different beast. So I know that it's not going to be perfect my first or second game back. I have to be able to manage my expectations in that regard, but yeah, just do everything you can to make sure that transition is smooth.
Thank you.
We're at Tim Hortons today celebrating the special birthday cookie where 100% of the
generational talent.
It's too late to apologize. It's too late.
Thank you. Generational talent.
Thanks for liking the video and subscribing.